Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Cleary with a knife video. Today I'm going to do my most carried knives for the last few weeks. If you remember last month, this kind of got off a little off schedule, so I'm hoping that with this video I can kind of get things back on track and start doing this usually the first week of every month the way I had been before. So I have noticed a fairly distinct change in my EDC, and so it was time to put this video up. There's some stuff that's the same. I'm going to start off with that because I got a couple fixed blades here, and what I'm going to do today is kind of organize this a little bit more than I usually do. So I'm going to give you fixed blades, then I'm going to give you a couple small knives that I've paired with something else. Those get carried more than other things just because one, I don't have as many of them, and two, when you're pairing it with something else, it's the something else for me that I usually switch out. Okay, and then finally I'll give you just the blades that have been the main regular EDC folders that have been with me. Okay, so let's get started with the SE3. Now guys, I've got to tell you that after quite a bit of use and quite a bit of carry time, this is about my favorite. There are a couple others that get a lot of use, but it'd be between this as my full size and then the Tops Tebow as my small fixed blade for EDC that I tend to prefer the most. The other fixed blades that I have that I've done videos about, I still like them, I still use them, but these are my most preferred, and this is the only one I've got to show you here is the SE3. But the reason I like it is just size, weight, and that sheath. I really like this configuration where I can put it horizontally on my waistband and it stays out of the way. I've still got a large enough knife that I can do pretty much anything that I would need to do. If you get much bigger than this, it starts to get a little cumbersome. So yeah, just a really good all-around fixed blade for EDC. The other fixed blade that I've got here for you has been in these videos a lot, and it is my Silent Soldier. This is a great blade. You know, the size on it, the weight, the way that this sheath can clip almost anywhere is just such a win that I end up having this with me almost all the time. And I think I said before, but I'll even carry this when I already have two other knives that I'm carrying. Okay, great blade. I really need to find a Ranger version. That's the one with the sort of the upswept blade on it. But they go like this. I've been looking on the forums, and like one comes up and within an hour or so it's gone. So if you're not online every minute just looking, they go quick. Okay, so those are the fixed blades. Now I've got a couple of small folders here, and these are folders that I pair with something else. One you've already seen before because it's recently reviewed, but this one is the Kershaw Skyline in S30V and carbon fiber. Really lightweight, really great blade. It's comfortable, it's useful. The way I often carry this is I almost always wear cargo pants or something with that other secondary pocket, and so I've got my regular whatever my EDC is for the day, pair 2 or something else around that size, 0560. Then I'll put this in my sort of cargo pants pocket and clip it to the top of that pocket and carry it that way. Great little blade, very lightweight, very useful. The other blade that you guys have already seen reviewed that I've been carrying that same way is the Dragonfly. Now this is even smaller, and so oftentimes what I do, and I've actually toyed with the idea of taking the clip right off of this, but I don't know if I ever will. Anyway, what I do is usually just drop this in my left-hand pocket. I haven't taken the clip off because of fixed blade carry. So if I am carrying a fixed blade, it's usually a waistband carry, which leaves my front right pocket available, and then I will use the clip and clip this knife to it, or you know, the Skyline or some other small folder. Now that kind of does it with the fixed blades and the smaller blades that I pair with something else, and here's some of the stuff that I pair it with. Let's start off with the 0560. Still a favorite. You know, when Kershaw made this, they just hit it out of the park. This is one of my all-time favorite knives, and if someone, you know, if you're out there and you're saying, you know, I'm interested in just one higher end folder, you know, this thing would come highly recommended by me. It's still one of my favorite knives in my collection, and even on days that I don't carry it in my pocket, I'll often go to the knife display, pull it off the shelf, and flip it open and use it just a little bit around the house. Another knife that's the same way for me is my DOC. When I did this video, I told you guys that, you know, this was when I first started getting into knives. I saw a Microtech DOC and was like, that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. And I still really feel that way. This is such an awesome blade. Now, it's not the most practical blade, and I will say it's quite large, okay? But this is still one of the absolute favorite blades that I own. This is another one that if I don't carry it on a given day, a lot of times I still go up to my collection, my display case where I have my collection, and take it off and just flip it and hold it and look at it. Just, it's gorgeous. I love the grind, I love the steel, I love the finishes, I love the blue. Just a lot to like about this blade. And so, yeah, this one's been in my pocket a bit, the Microtech DOC. Another one that is like that in terms of very attractive, really cool knife, but not as maybe practical as it could be, is the Boker Federal. And this one, what I've been doing is just carrying it in my pocket. That is, I'll just drop it in my pocket and carry it that way, because this clip is terrible, okay? It's a really innovative idea, and I'm not sure what they could do to improve it. Maybe if you remove the material here, but that clip is really annoying. I'll try to, let's see if I can get my fingers out of the way. You actually have to pinch the knife this way, and you can probably see that there, how the clip is like opening up, and that's how you clip it to your pocket. It's so tight. When you get this thing clipped to your pocket, it's really hard to get off, okay? So, for that reason, I often carry it in my pocket instead. But look at this. Oh, of course I fail on camera, but this flips unbelievably well, especially for the price point and for, you know, the fact that Boker has struggled with some of these tie frame locks, these collaborations. This is beautiful. It's a cool piece of artwork. It gives you the option to own a knife designed by Gustavo Cecchini, which is, you know, you're really difficult to get accustomed from him. So anyway, great blade. Let's move on to the XM18. This is one I've been really impressed with. I've had this knife for about a month now. It's been in my pocket an awful lot. Of course, part of that has been testing, and I'm going to do a review on this coming up here shortly, but I have been really impressed. As you guys know, I've tried other sort of high-end hard use blades and not been that impressed. Often it's the edge geometry that puts me off, but I can tell you, I went with the Spanto and I have not been disappointed. I really like this blade. It does cut well. It does do EDC tasks really well, and so that's been quite impressive, or that's been very pleasing to me, because I was a little worried that when I got this I wouldn't like the edge geometry, and so I'd end up getting rid of it. But no, I've been quite happy and quite impressed. Getting down to the bitter end here, we've got a few more blades for you. S30V Silver Twill Blur. I love the Kershaw Blur. You know, many people have talked about how great it is, and I've been one of those people. I've got to tell you, if you don't have a blur, you really need to try one. I know there are a couple of videos out there talking about lockup fail. I've tried lots of different things to get the lock to fail on this, and I haven't really had it happen. But the reality is, anyone who's carrying, if you're using any kind of knife, you do not count on that lock, okay? It's just there as sort of a fail-safe. It's not something, you still, essentially, you treat all folding knives as if they're slip joints. That's the only real safe way to handle a folder. Moving on, seems like blue has been a bit of a theme today. This is the Agomi Super Blue Stretch with the titanium pocket clip from Casey Lynch. You guys have seen this knife a lot. Great blade. I wouldn't consider this hard use, and I kind of baby this knife a little bit just because it's a sprint run, because it's the Super Blue steel. By the way, this steel is amazing. Razor sharp. Anyway, if I know I'm not going to be doing anything overly strenuous, I'll often carry this guy. It's he's really lightweight. It would actually be a good knife, or a suitable knife for if you're going running or something like that. But obviously the Super Blue would be a bad idea just because of the humidity created by your sweat. But a normal stretch would be a great knife to carry with you hiking or exercising or whatever. Finally, S35VN Para 2. This is probably my favorite Para 2. I've had 4. I have 2 right now, and I do kind of switch them back and forth, but this is a great knife. I think I like it a lot because of the fact that when I was first getting interested in knives, and in the Para 2 in particular, I watched, I think Crockett 20 had a video about the Para 2, and he had the S35VN version, and so I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's the one I want. I didn't realize at the time, but I later learned it was a sprint run. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's what I've been carrying. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what you've been carrying most the last few weeks, and we'll talk to you later.